Today we're talking about business and the way we do it. So, roll the intro. So before we talk about business, I want to show you my new chair. Doozy! The new office chair. Got that good spin on it. Padded back for them long nights. Soft bottom. Softer than Normie's defense. Hydraulics on the side. And the best thing about it, when I'm locked in, I don't really have to get up anymore. Example of this, mid-vlog, thirsty, what do? Boom. Grab your drink and then you're straight back. So today we're going to talk about business and how we do it. Our main point is, one of our main ones is we try and humanize our business. Like when you see Yktr, you might see our background story. They're the guys that make the vlogs, they're the guys that play footy, they're the guys that are trying to walk a different path, and it's something that you can associate with. And it's sort of similar to when you hear a song and it sort of takes you back to a place in time. So that's one of the main things we try to do with Yktr. We try and humanize our business. And when we first started, our ultimate goal at the time, we were like, we want to be in general pants. Like imagine if we're in general pants, like we'd be killing it. And over time, you sort of I got to find out that general pants, like they own 80% of the brands in there. So you're walking in, you're thinking you're getting a plethora of different options, but you're buying from the same company with a different label on each one. When I thought Yktr, I wanted to be like that brand that does their own thing, and I thought that was much cooler. Like here's a flag in the sand. This is us. This is what we're doing. Document about our story, you know our story, and it's up to you, the market, the people, whether you think we're relevant enough. And if you do your own thing, people sort of like come to you slowly over time. So, and that's what I mean by trying to humanize your business. Like, point number 2 is clothes aren't our business, people are our business. And I didn't realize that at the start. I thought like you make good clothes, you're sweet. But once you realize that like people are the market's undefeated. The market decides whether you're relevant or not. The market decides that spinners are cool for 6 months, you know what I mean? So once you realize that your business is actually people, you start to do things a little differently. I read a book called The Thank You Economy from Gary Vaynerchuk, and it changed the way I thought. And I'll give an example of a footy player. So we like to pump sports people up in Australia. We put them up on a pedestal. So we assume that their time is more valuable than ours. Now I'll give an example of, say I'm 12 years old. Joey Johns is my favourite player ever. He has Instagram. He puts a clinic on. Hey Joey, great game today. All he has to do for 1 second on this phone is see the comment, press heart. That'll make my, as a 12-year-old kid, that would make my whole day. And imagine if he took 10 seconds out of his day to press reply and say thank you. Like once I was sort of given that analogy, it sort of changed the whole way I do business. So whenever someone writes to Yktr in any way, shape or form, through all our different platforms, I do my best to reply to them. And people get shocked that I actually reply. And I think that's what footy players need to start doing, because right now, where they have this leverage why people perceive that their time to be more valuable, why people actually think you're cool at the moment, you gotta take advantage of the platform that you have, but do it in the right way. Like don't do it in like any corny way. Like talk to, like someone writes you, reply to them, say thank you for coming to the game. And I'll give an example of Corey. If he was to write to 50 people, Parramatta fans, hey, thanks for coming to the game, how many of them do you reckon would reply? 50 of them. You go, Corey retires a year from now. He sees someone on the street, a couple of people might recognise him. 2 years after you retire, all you do is fall back into like society. You're just like everyone else. So I come up to you, go, hey, I was a big fan of you when you were a player. He's with his 8-year-old kid. They walk away. The 8-year-old kid goes, who was that, Dad? And Dad goes, oh, just some old footy player. And then that's when it hits you. Like I should have been doing more. I should have been talking to people. Why I did have the leverage. Why people did think I was cool. Why people actually thought I was like somebody. And an example of that, say you finish footy and you got 200,000 followers. Do you know how many businesses will have that sort of platform? of 200,000 followers where you can market to for free. So if you decide you finish footy, I found the only suburb in Sydney that doesn't have an F45, I want to open one, and out of those 200,000 you've spent your career and you've talked to 10,000 of them, they're going to want to support you. And that's where like karma comes in, of like being a good bloke or being a good person. Like karma's practical, it comes back around. What we try and do with YKTR, I try and talk to every single person that replies, that comments to us, and most of the time I'm just saying thank you, but like I don't like copy and paste. Like I don't have a bunch of notes where I go thank you and then copy paste put it in. I reply to every single one of them in the best way that I can, to the best of my ability, and I try and answer everything I can. I give you honest answers. I'm not trying to hide anything. A lot of people have clothing brand stuff like that. So once you understand people are your business, your mindset changes. And like there's some, like when our new collection dropped, we had 2-3 vlogs drop in about 5 days, all these sort of people writing, like I try and reply to sort of 90% of them. And that takes up a big chunk of your time. Be anywhere from half an hour in the morning. At night time, you're not watching TV, you're spending 5-6 hours replying to people. And some people just want to have a chat. Some people, like not every conversation is going to turn into a sale, and you don't want it to turn into a sale. All you want to do is just give them answers, provide value the best way you can, and you sort of roll from there. When we did start business, I had a lot of people saying, you're doing this wrong, which we probably were. Like an example of this was like, you're an e-commerce business, you should not be offering refunds. And I was like, why not? And they were like, oh, it cuts into your profit margin. And I was like, I don't really care about profit margin. I want like my customers to have a good product. And like, I'll happily exchange sizes, which a lot of businesses don't do. And they're like, why would you do that? And I'm like long term. I'm thinking long term. So when the next collection comes out, or 3 collections come out from now, when they want some new clothes, they're going to think of us, because we provide a good service. It's a good product. I know my size now because I mucked it up first time, but now I know. And in business, a lot of people think transactional, which I understand is important, but I think like providing a good service sometimes may not be the best thing right now, but long term, it's going to pay dividends. Snapbacks, he goes, why are you making boxes? You're wasting time, you're wasting money. It's easier just to put it in the thing, but like I wouldn't want to receive a squash snapback. I think just being a good bloke and being a good person is practical, because it comes back around. Like in Australia, we like, as a bloke, you judge like whether you're a good bloke or not, no matter like what occupation you're in, like what's your IQ, how smart you could be the dumbest person in the world, but if you're that bloke at the pub where people like to have a beer with and a bit of banter with, like you're winning in Australia. Like we judge people on being like good blokes. And like you see that in footy, like you hear it a lot of the time, like, oh, he was a great player, but he's a better bloke off the field. And that's all we're trying to like be. We're trying to be good blokes. Like we're doing business in a sort of a different way, where we're happy exchange. We'll happily talk to people. Do you know what I mean? We'll happily try and provide value. And that's sort of the last point, and it's sort of a hard one for businesses to understand. You got to give more than you take. And what do I mean by that? Like, you don't want to be like, if you're Instagram, you don't want to be like, here's a shirt, $44.95. Here's next post 2 days later. Oh, look at our shorts. You can get 2 for 1. 3 days later, new post. You don't want to be like shoving product in the face all the time. You want to be giving value. And the way we give value, we just the main one is purely through this vlog. Like we try and tell our story and document. A lot of people get different things out of it. Like a lot of people want to see behind the scenes of footy. A lot of people get laughter out of it. Like they're like, oh, what about when Corey crashed a drone? Or I love Chico's laughter. Just stuff like that. Like so people see it as like entertainment value, but they'll never ever buy anything from us, and that's fine by us. But we just want to be giving more than we take. And you got to do it different on different platforms. So on Instagram, we're doing this caption this, where you can win a free hat, and it basically gives you a chance to have a free crack at us. Like you can take the piss out of us. Like we don't care. We actually think it's funny, because at the end of the day, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like the things we say to each other will be a lot harsher than what we hear from you. So we sort of love all that stuff. So those are sort of the main points I wanted to get across. Like, humanize your business. Like, what's your story? Document, tell it. Say thank you. Like, people are the market. market decides whether you're cool or not, spend some time talking to the people that actually think you're relevant at the time. Like, that's very important. Maybe do business a different way. Like, try and be a good person. Try and be a good bloke, because being a good bloke is practical. We offer refunds because long term from now, you might want to buy from us again. You might never buy from us again. That's not our problem. And the last one is provide value. You can do it any way you want. We try and do it through humour, education. Like, if someone can come home from a hard day's work and watch a vlog and get a bit of a laughter out of it, that's a win for us. They might never buy anything from us ever again, but that's just as valuable to us as anything else. And we try and provide education. Like, we have no formal education. We don't have certificates behind us on the wall. We're just trying to tell you what we do. And like, a lot of people are learning from this. And it's humbling, because people message me privately and go, thanks for that. I really appreciated that. Like, that to me is just as good as someone like buying a piece of clothing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's humbling. Like, I wake up in the morning, I'm that excited to get up and post these orders, because people are spending their hard-earned money on your ideas. And like that's humbling, and I'm very grateful for that. And it gets me excited. Like, once I wake up, I'm ready to go. I'm happy. I'm bouncing around. I struggle to go to sleep at night because I'm too excited, because I've got these ideas. I'm like, wondering what they're going to think of these ideas. Like, I might be completely wrong, but like, I don't know. It's just a cool way to live. So probably not the conventional way of people doing business, but this is how we do it. Hope you learned something.
So it's not nice. For this life I cannot change. In the hills, deep off in the main.